Hello, I'm Tim Loughton, Member of Parliament for East Worthing Shoreham. I've just recording a quick podcast with an update on the situation with our local train, the shambolic service that we've had from Southern for over a year now. Well, the good news is that this week the government fined GTR, Southern Railways, £13.4 million for the shambolic service over the last year. That's good news. It's not enough. Frankly, I think they should be fined more because they really have not come up to scratch. The other bit of news is that the ASLEF Drivers Union have announced they are going on strike again because they're not happy with their 23.4%, yes, 23.4% pay rise effectively over the next 4 years. That takes the average pay for a train driver to £60,000 for a 35-hour 4-day week, and yet they have just rejected it and going on strike. So crazy. At the same time, RMT, who are responsible for the onboard supervisors, despite every one of them having signed a contract to say they're going to be onboard supervisors rather than guards, are still having action and overtime bans because they think there's a safety problem with that, but they've signed all the contracts. This is very frustrating because actually the service was improving, and if we have all this industrial action again, we're going to take several steps backwards. So what have we been doing about it? Well, there was the Gibbs report, which was published last month, and an independent and well-respected figure within the train industry, Chris Gibbs. He outlined in detail all the problems in the local area, and many of those problems, I'm glad to say, are being addressed, not before time, but he did say that the situation cannot properly improve until this industrial action is sorted. We need it to stop. So last week I organised for a group from the RMT union. The head of the RMT came to Parliament to speak and take questions from a group of MPs. Next week I've actually got their equivalent from ASLEF to come and discuss the situation and their strike action with MPs. Funnily enough, they wouldn't meet in the same room, which doesn't bode well. We really have got to end this strike action, and if there are some residual safety concerns, and I appreciate there might be, particularly getting assurances people with disabilities getting off trains safely and conveniently, then those can be ironed out. They are relatively minor now, but let's end the industrial action. Then I think we'll see the Department for Transport take some more substantive action to change the franchise, which GTR has not been running well, and we can at last get back to a decent train service that all of my constituents desperately need and deserve. I'll continue to post updates on my website, but certainly we're speaking to everybody. We're speaking to ministers, we're speaking to the Department for Transport, we're speaking to the management of Southern, and we're speaking to both the unions involved. So MPs, including me, are doing our bit to try and get this sorted once and for all.